Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door. The playoffs are done. Well, my coverage is certainly done. And now we can really start to focus on the Euros. It's Monday, late evening now. And the England squad is named properly tomorrow. Was supposed to be named last week, wasn't it? 26 instead of normal 23. But Gareth Southgate decided that because of the Champions League final and all the England sort of faces involved in that, and I think because of the injuries to Harry Maguire, Jordan Henderson, Calvin Phillips, he wanted the extra week. So we got a 33-man squad, a provisional squad named last week. So we're going to try and figure out who misses out for England. Who will be the Southgate 7 that are going to get cut tomorrow. We say tomorrow, but they probably already know, don't they? But we're going to get all of this announced tomorrow at about lunchtime. I think it's a 1 p.m. announcement again, like it was last week. And then we are into it, aren't we? Friendly on Wednesday. The following day is against Austria. Then it's Romania on Sunday. And then we are basically a week away from the Euros beginning, and seeing if England can get one step further than in Russia, which would mean a trip to the final. That would be a fine old thing, wouldn't it? Right. Here is the 33-man squad that was named last Tuesday. Now, I'll explain again what I did last time. I've gone goalkeepers, fullbacks, could be wingbacks as well, centre-backs, midfielders. Where it says that, I'm talking central midfielders who are going to sit and not be involved high up in a 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. The actual sitters. Number 6s and number 8s, probably we would call them. Attackers is anybody who's not a central striker, then either going to play inverted forward or 10 in those systems, supporting the strikers. The strikers are the actual number 9s. That's how we sort of weighed it all out. And those were the 33. Pickford, Henderson, Johnston, Ramsdale was a surprise. Shaw, Chilwell, Walker, Trippier, James, and the return of Trent Alexander-Arnold meant 6 fullbacks and 4 right backs in there. We'll get into that. Stones, Maguire, Cody, Mings, and then a couple of interesting ones. White and Godfrey from Brighton and from Everton, getting a taste of the squad. The midfielders there, Rice, Henderson, again, we don't know about the injuries. Bellingham, Ward, Prowse still in there. And the attackers, God, look, 8 in that row. Mount, Sterling, Rashford, Foden, Sancho, Grealish. Saka still in there. So is Lingard, who, after his great loan at West Ham, did find his way back in to the England squad. Up top, no Danny Ings, which surprised me. Kane, Calvert-Lewin, Watkins, and Greenwood returns for the first time since breaking the sort of curfew, quarantine, whatever of the team, however you want to describe it, back during, God, I can't remember, one of the many, many lockdowns we seem to have had. Right, that is the 33-man squad. I'm going to go one by one, the 7 players. And let me get this very clear now. Not the 7 players I would personally remove if I was the England manager. The 7 players I think the guy who actually is England manager is going to remove. Again, feel free to comment and have your say. Let's avoid definitely 100% and say no more and all of that nonsense we get. We're guessing. Come on. Unless you're on the inside, we are guessing. So let's all be respectful of anybody's opinions of what could happen. And look, if I get 5 or more, I'll be happy. And of course, no disrespect to any of these players, of course. This is elite football, isn't it? The top level and the best of the best for England, where we think we have the best league in the world as well. So obviously, go figure, all of these players are very good. Therefore, 7 very good football players are going to miss out. Who are they going to be? Here's my number 1. Aaron Ramsdale. I suspect this one's a bit of a home run, isn't it? Ramsdale coming in as goalkeeper number 4 with Johnston and Pickford and Henderson. Pope, I mean, that could be a big surprise, couldn't it? Pope's all right after his surgery. They're gonna take out Johnston and Ramsdale and put Pope back in. I think he'll just take out Ramsdale, and he's just saying to Ramsdale, look, you're on the radar. Come in and train with us for a bit. Have a good season with Sheffield United. Get yourself back in the Premier League, and who knows where we go. But I think Ramsdale will be the first one to be cut. And Ben Godfrey, 1 season in the Premier League thus far with Everton. And look, we are really into crystal balls and I'm not a doctor type things. This is so dependent on Harry Maguire. I'm making the assumption that, not that Harry Maguire is fit right now, right this second, but that he will be fit for the first game against Croatia. Of course, you can then work backwards from there. So where Maguire is concerned, I suspect he would be left-hand side centre-back and Stones would be right-hand side centre-back in a 4. Maybe Kyle Walker would come in a 3. So you're more looking at the left-footers, which is Ben White. Tyrone Mings is ahead there as well. So you would suspect if there were issues with Maguire that maybe it would be Ben White ahead of Ben Godfrey. Look, Maguire was at the Europa League final, didn't get any football there. It's all shrouded in mystery, isn't it? We've got another David Beckham and his broken foot again. My assumption is Maguire will be ready for Croatia, which means Godfrey is then furthest down the line. And despite stepping up from Norwich to Everton and working with Carlo Ancelotti, I don't think he makes the final cut. And nor would James Ward-Prowse. And look, that's a central midfielder, and we're now into the Jordan Henderson conundrum, aren't we? So along with Henderson is Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham, and I think Jude Bellingham's Champions League exploits for Dortmund do put him ahead of Ward-Prowse. Yes, we hear the argument all the time for Ward-Prowse. He's a banging free kick taker, isn't he? I just think, and we'll talk about those fullbacks, I think Southgate is going to be looking at those 6 fullbacks as not just fullbacks. They're going to be able to cover other positions. And I think that works against Ward-Prowse because I think it would be Henderson and Rice first choice, and then Phillips, and then Bellingham. And then I don't think he needs another bespoke one because it could be one of these fullbacks. I thought you might have Eric Dyer in the squad for that reason as well, but didn't fancy him this season. But perhaps one or other of those fullbacks. I mean, I've just spoken about Ben Godfrey. He can play midfield. So can Ben White as well. But I think Ward-Prowse is just going to be missing out for those reasons. And I think Bukayo Saka is going to miss out as well. Look, we've seen Saka tried as left wing-back for England, haven't we? And I just think Chilwell has won the Champions League the other night, hasn't he? Shaw has been very good for Manchester United. So you got the 2 there and a possible cover from certain other players who were mentioned later in this. So I don't think Saka's needed in that position. He'd be 3rd or 4th choice there. And then you go further up the pitch, and we've said it a million times. Look, there was 8 players in that kind of attacking midfield, inverted forwards sort of role. And I just think it comes too soon for him. And I think Saka will miss out. Very good player. He'll get plenty of caps, don't worry. But not yet, I don't think. That's number 4. Number 5 would be Jesse Lingard. And I'll trot through exactly the same reasons I just gave. Even less so, really, because Lingard, unlike Saka, he's not going to go and play wing-back, is he? He is going to play. I mean, I guess he could cover one of your central positions. He's a bit of a utility player, to be honest, Lingard. He's a good footballer who can play anywhere. But once again, we are looking at Foden, Grealish, Sterling, blah, 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 blah. How far down the line is Jesse Lingard? I'm sure he'll be great around the squad. He's been great for West Ham, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of phone calls for him and his agent during the summer after his work for West Ham. But I think he misses out on this squad. He's my number 5. Number 6 is Mason Greenwood. So Greenwood and Foden were in trouble earlier in the season. Greenwood, I don't know. You let me know in the comments. I think some people will expect he would have been further on by the end of the season. We all know how good he is and what brilliant finisher he is. Either foot, hammering those shots in low into the corners all the time. But it's just, look, Cavani's still the main guy at Manchester United, and he hasn't yet made himself the main guy. And I think Southgate's saying, look, I can go this big provisional squad. I'm going to have a look at some strikers. You're on my radar for the future. But I do think Greenwood will miss out. I get the argument that other than sort of Harry Kane, basically, probably, just trying to think if any of the wide forwards and midfielders are better finishers. He's probably the best finisher there other than Harry Kane, isn't he? But I think he will miss out, number 6. And number 7 is Ben White. So I am assuming, I'm making big assumptions, and we'll look at the whole squad, that both Godfrey and White have been brought in for Southgate to assess Harry Maguire and also try, presumably, and he's not going to have done this with the Chelsea and Manchester City players, Reece James, Kyle Walker, Ben Chilwell, etc., and try others, particularly all those fullbacks in different positions. So, assuming that Harry Maguire is going to be ready for Croatia, not for Austria on Wednesday or Romania on Sunday, then I think Godfrey and White were very much on standby, weren't they, for those reasons. And I think it'll be a case of, look, Southgate saying, you're in my thoughts for the future. And if there was a big problem with Maguire, one of you might get in. But, and I'll show you my full 26 in a second, I think that Southgate will believe he can cover a back 3 or 2 centre-halves with some of those players, 2 of them in particular, in the fullback area. So I think those 3 players, Ramsdale, Godfrey and White, who were kind of new to the squad, all come in and then miss out, essentially. It seems too obvious, doesn't it? So that is my Southgate 7, which means this is my 26 for the squad. So my 3 keepers, Pickford, Henderson, Johnston, with Ramsdale missing out. The only thing that would change that is something to do with Nick Pope, in which case it would probably be Pickford, Henderson and Pope. Now, 6 fullbacks, but bear with me, because I think Southgate will look at this as Shaw and Chilwell are his 2 left-backs or left wing-backs, essentially. Then Kyle Walker is either a right fullback or a right centre-back in a 3. Kieran Trippier is either a right wing-back or a spare left wing-back. And then Reece James is either right centre-back, right wing-back, and look at him in the Champions League final against Sterling, or a central midfielder if there's problems with Henderson. Same for Trent. And I just don't understand why Trent, having not been in there for a while, would be brought back. Look, he's won the Champions League, he's won the league, brought back to be looked at for 4 or 5 days and then bombed out. There just seems something there. And I think the option as well, and I'll give you a Championship reference. We saw Swansea try this with Connor Roberts, where the wing-back goes much further forward, sort of against maybe a better team, and you want to go, I don't know, 4-3-3, but you want that defensive sort of solidity down the side. I know people question Trent defending, but if he's got a full-back behind him, then maybe so. But I just think there's something in there, and I think he'll look at him as another one who can step into wide midfield, central midfield, or even further up on the right-hand side. So that gives you 4 bespoke centre-backs: Stones, Maguire, Cody and Mings. Obviously, in a 2, I expect it to be Maguire left, Stones right, with Mings as the left-hand side backup. Cody probably is the right-hand side backup and can play the middle of the 3. And of course, Walker and James are also perfectly capable, particularly if it's a 3. Walker, I'd say, even if it's a 2, can play centre-back. So you can make an argument there is 6 centre-backs in there and 4 full-backs rather than 6 full-backs and 4 centre-backs. There's a lot of versatility, and Southgate said, people think I'm obsessed with right-backs, but you can kind of see why, given, look at the accolades now. You got 3 Champions League winners now with Trent, Reece James and Chilwell within those full-backs, and Kyle Walker's obviously won the Premier League, and Kieran Trippier's just won La Liga as well. So there's a lot of success in there. The 4 central midfielders, again, we're depending on Jordan Henderson being fit. But again, I'll go to that. So look, we've got Rice, Henderson, Phillips and Bellingham. I'll go to that full-back list, and Reece James can get in there. And honestly, Trent Alexander-Arnold could probably, if there was an emergency. But surely there's not going to be a situation where he wants to play a flat 3 and he needs to use all of Rice, Phillips and Bellingham all at once. Remember as well, Mason Mount is there and could probably help out in a central midfield capacity as well. So there's my 4 central mids. Then the 6 sort of wide attackers or number 10s. Mount, Sterling, Rashford, Foden, Sancho and Grealish. There's plenty there, isn't there? And it's all very versatile, isn't it? Especially when you get 4-2-3-1s and 4-3-3s, because you move them either side. They can be inverted, they can be orthodox, they can play off the front. And if he wants to play a number 10, then honestly, I know it didn't particularly work out for Foden playing centrally in the Champions League final, but Grealish can do it, can't he? And honestly, Mason Mount looks a world beater at the moment, so he could be your 10, dropping into an 8 as well, gluing everything together. And then I have stuck with Watkins. There's just something there again, like I said with Trent, there's something there with Watkins. So Kane, Calvert-Lewin and Watkins, I think, will be the 3. Small chance I could be sat here tomorrow and he's picked Greenwood instead of Watkins just as a finisher. But I think he'll want Watkins maybe a bit more sort of running power and ability to get in behind rather than an outright finisher, let's just say. So that is my England 26 and my Southgate 7. Once again, I've had my say. Now you have yours in the comments. We are making predictions here, so we don't need hashtag end of story, hashtag there's no debate, hashtag definitely, hashtag 100%. Let's all be respectful of everybody else's views. And look, we'll find out tomorrow who's right. I think I speak for everybody here. Probably most of us are England supporters, and I don't really care who misses out if the squad does well. We need the best players there for the job, and we want England obviously to get through as far as possible. And God forbid, could they ever win something in my lifetime? I mean, Jesus Christ, maybe I should just give up on that now. But there you go. That is my look at who misses out for England. The Southgate 7. Let me know who yours are. And we will be watching along the friendly, what time is it? 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock? On Wednesday night against Austria. It'll be the first of plenty of Euros coverage as we go. Give me a 7 in the chat, and it's a big over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.